Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And an 8 of Wands as our first card. This is a very creative energy. This is a pressure coming from inside, right? That's expanding in all directions. I feel like this is a card of creative problem solving. Okay? We're trying to apply a lot of different things here and seeing what works. I think you are a very creative person. I think that you understand that mixing things up sometimes, following your excitement, following your intuition and being spontaneous is sometimes the right approach to shake things up, right? To get things moving again, right? The same old routine, the same stagnation. I think things have become a little bit too still. So you feel something inside of you that's saying, let's just shake it up. Let's do something different. Let's try a different tool. Let's try a different technique. Let's get creative here. Okay? Let's see what's going on. We need context, right? Context is everything. We have a 9 of Wands. Very good. Strength, right? Resulting from this process. We have a Queen of Swords. A 9 of Swords. Yes, okay. And we've got a Princess of Wands. That makes sense too. And we've got the Celebration coming up soon for you. That's very nice. Over here we've got the Star. We've got the Temperance card. The Sun card. We're going to go 4 for 4. Ooh, a Queen of Pentacles. That's all right. I like the Queen of Pentacles. It's your future self. Right? Your future self. What is your future self going to say to you? Is your future self going to be disappointed that you didn't try all these different ideas, that you didn't just follow your spontaneous intuition and follow this creative energy, right? Or is your future self going to be happy that you sort of played it safe? You know, I think what we're doing here is we're taking a risk, we're taking a chance. We are saying, you know what? I'm not going to stay in this 9 of Swords life. I'm done with this. This is behind you. The way to get out of this is to follow your excitement, follow the rainbow, right? You want to follow this creative impulse that you feel inside of you. You got to take some calculated risks. Okay, this is a very fiery, very spontaneous creative energy. It's going to lead you to joy, abundance, happiness, sunshine, right? It's going to lead you closer to your star. Because the 9 of Swords is that kind of despair. It's kind of like saying nothing is working, right? What do you do when nothing's working? Well, you try something else, right? Try something different. This is kind of saying like, I've been doing the same thing and it's not working and I'm starting to feel a lot worse because of that, right? This is, to me, it feels like one of the most painful cards in the pack. I mean, you just look at the card. It looks quite painful, right? And I think that this is that pain of, stagnation, the pain of, well, it could be a lot of things. It could be regret. Okay, it could be, I think it's some very, very negative, low vibrational energy that was present in your life. You're trying to put it behind you. Whatever it was. I don't even want to dwell on this because this is behind you. And because of this burst of creativity, really, it's giving way to much, much better things. This is behind you. This was the dark, scary forest. This was the feeling of failure or of that we're not worthy of joy, of love, of success. We're not worthy of the the sort of the spiritual divine essence, the energy that we see over here. This is really wonderful. We're going to select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We'll set it down right here with Mr. Ed, our little horse, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this program you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments. Okay. Now, as we take a look around the room, we do see 1, 2, 3 major arcana. 1, 2, 3 fire. We see a little bit of water. We see a little bit of air and a little bit of earth. Okay, so it's mostly fire and the major arcana. I feel like you're being inspired by your true self. You're being inspired by spirit right now to do something out of the ordinary, to follow your impulses a little bit, to follow your curiosity. This is a card of experimentation, and this is saying that strength is really going to come to you, this kind of vitality, this resolve, this stamina, this resilience, right? This is resilient. This is you rebounding from this thing, saying, I can bounce back from this, whatever this was for you. This was something being torn apart, okay? I can rebound from that. This is the joy of bringing things together again. I can rebound from this, but what I got to do is I just got to get active. I got to try a lot of different things. I got to express myself in as many ways as I can right now. And I think that really is through this kind of risk-taking, experimentation, calculated risks. It's not recklessness. See, we have a very objective Queen of Swords underneath everything here. Okay? I think the sun in the position of the obstacle was the obstacle of you feeling separated from your true self. Separated from your divine essence. That could be the separation that we feel here. Maybe this is a spiritual thing. Because the sun, of course, is the planet that rules the sign of Leo, right? So it kind of feels to me like the sun in that position is saying, you know, you've been separated from your true essence. You've been separated from your true will. It's time to get back to that. And how we get back to that is not through passive contemplation, not through sort of waiting, not through flowing like water through life, but no, it's a time for fire. It's a time for activity. It's a time for action. It's a time for experimentation. It's a time for strength. You know, and a lot of the time on this channel, we'll see like some strong Leo energy. We'll say, well, sometimes the best show of strength is just to not show your strength, to be in control of that strength. And, you know, I think Spirit right now is saying you got to get back in touch with that essence of who you are. And you need to do that through strength, experimentation, confidence. Your ability to take a risk knowing that I'm going to be okay, I can handle it, you know, that I can take calculated risks and not lose myself or not get further away from myself or not fall into the snare of, you know, reckless behavior. I like the cards we have here. I think that this is kind of showing that there's been a restlessness in you. Well, especially with that 9 of Swords, that's an anxiety, right? That's a despair. See, we're not sleeping at night. Okay, well, if we're not sleeping at night, let's just get up and do something. You know, let's get creative. Let's start a project. Let's start a friendship, a relationship. Let's put something together. Start your YouTube channel. Start your website. Start writing your poetry. Start writing your novel. Start riding your bike, right? Do whatever it is, whatever occurs to you that would feel kind of exciting or fun to do right now. Okay, and we will find the strength. We will gain our confidence back. And what we'll do is we'll find a sense of purpose. When we're connected with a sense of purpose, the energy sort of solidifies. It's sort of it's almost like we get plugged into the battery. We get plugged into the source, you know, and your energy rises to the occasion. We may start with these two, just going to try different things. I'm going to try a bunch of different activities. I'm going to throw a bunch of things at the wall, see what sticks, you know. I think you're someone who's looking to unite with your true self, looking to find your purpose. Maybe the Nine of Swords is a feeling of, I haven't had much direction. Now I'm looking for a sense of direction. Through the experimentation and the creative sort of risk-taking of the Eight of Wands, through the exploring many different pathways, and following our impulse, our intuition, following our creative will, following just kind of what excites you, I believe that you will find something that you really connect to. And you'll know that you really connect to it because it will give you this surge of energy. It will, your internal energy will rise to the occasion, and something will stick out. Something will connect with you more than other things do. You'll know, you'll say, yeah, this is the thing. Okay. But to get to that point, we have to be willing to experiment, try and fail. We have to be willing to kind of start a project and then walk away from it when we realize that, no, that's not the one. That didn't quite do it for me. Okay, maybe we're going to try a lot of different things. And we have to sift through. We need our Queen of Swords underneath the surface here, which is the sort of inner knowing. This is a more detached, objective understanding that we can watch. This is kind of like, this is our more mature energy inside, watching what we're doing, watching our behavior outside, and seeing, kind of keeping an eye on ourselves. This is what I'm doing. I'm dancing with the tiger here. I'm doing a bunch of different projects. I'm starting a lot of different things. Okay, and that's just it. This is us starting a lot of different things. Doesn't mean we're going to finish all of them. Okay, this is us being able to understand which things are really meant for us and which things we can say, okay, that isn't for me, that didn't work, I'm going to leave that one behind. Okay, but that's kind of the risk of the Princess of Wands, because this energy will start a lot of projects, won't finish any of them. If before we know it, we've got a lot of things kind of half started all around the house, a lot of piles of projects everywhere, The Queen of Swords is that understanding, that deeper, objective, bigger picture view that's going to keep us from just kind of losing it in the Princess of Wands, right? I mean, we're doing this, it's a calculated risk. So I think that the Queen is also understanding ourselves well enough to say, I know basically kind of where I'm headed, But then again, the Eight of Wands is kind of saying, maybe we need to do something completely unexpected, right? But we're doing so in a way that is rational and reasonable in a certain sense. It's half rational, half spontaneous, and just irrational. We're trying to perhaps choose a variety of activities or a variety of interests that we feel physically it's something that I could do, and something that, maybe will help us to pay the bills, right? Maybe something that I could sort of turn it into a business at some point. And then also 3, finding something that maybe other people could receive and resonate with, whether it's me having a YouTube channel or a blog or writing a book or writing poetry, something that I can sort of give to the world. Like it's something that is useful, to the world at large. But then I think it's really like you're free to try a bunch of different things right now. You're being encouraged to experiment, okay? And finding the thing that really resonates with you will feel like you've been plugged into a battery. It'll feel like you have been just plugged into source, and that energy will surge through you. It will be a full activation, okay? And what it leads to in the immediate future is abundance, joy, celebration, right? The 3 of Cups. And the 3 of Cups, this is this very center of the table, right? This is the central card today. It's vastly different than this. This is kind of saying my whole life is falling apart. It's a 9 of Swords, right? It's sorrow on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual, creative planes. It's kind of like it doesn't get worse than this. This is now saying, I found something to be hopeful about. I found something to wish for and love and celebrate. I found something that is positive and healthy and healing in my life. A person, a place, a thing, an activity, a belief, a spiritual path, a practice, whatever it might be. You're going to go through a period of experimentation, trial and error, okay, and you're going to find it. And this is real joy, real celebration. Yeah. Now, on the path of the serpent, we're starting with the star card. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Okay, these readings are totally free. The star card to me is kind of showing that, like, well, in contrast with our sun card, because we know that the sun is another star, right? But the sun is you. It's your star. So in this card now, it kind of feels like, I feel like my destiny is so far away, right? I feel like my star is just a little point of light somewhere out there. I don't even know which one it is anymore. You know, our goals are way out there. Our destiny is way out there. Our true self is way out there. It's like we've gotten so far away from ourselves, you know. But you feel driven to discover that there's still this hope. We feel inspired that's saying, I got to get up and I got to figure out a way to get back to that. Okay? Because again, the Mars in Gemini, 9 of Swords, feels like we've been separated from something. To me, it feels like we feel or have felt that we were separated from our true selves. Now, maybe there's something more practical going on for you too. It could be. But this is the feeling that it's way out there. And yes, that can lead to a tremendous despair. These two cards together, oof, bad news, right? Because it feels like I've been so separated from who I am, I don't even know who I am anymore. I can't even identify which star is mine, looking out into the world, or looking inside. I don't know who I am anymore. We're separated from our true selves, okay? But I think what we're doing is realizing that, no, that doesn't have to be the permanent state of things. It doesn't have to stay that way, right? The 9 of Swords giving way to the 9 of Wands, which will give way eventually to the 9 of Cups, starting with a 3, right? 3, 6, 9. We're just going to have to multiply this. But that star is the hope that we still feel. We're still being called by our true selves, called by our future, by our destiny. And we're not giving up on the path. We're not giving up on the journey. Saying, I'm going to continue doing this work. And I'm going to find that which I'm looking for, or find what's looking for me. Yeah. And we have of course, we have the big stew pot in the environment. We have the big pot of gumbo with the art or temperance card. Because life is a pressure cooker, okay? That is us kind of molding and shaping ourselves on the blacksmith's anvil, right? And it's in terms of your relationships. So it's a relationship between your true self. It could be a relationship with your soulmate or a true love or a family situation. There could be a kind of practical side to things, okay? And so we are doing that alchemy. We are doing that magic. We're doing the experiments. We're cooking in the kitchen, right? This card is about a combination of things to see what's going to work. It's, in a way, we're in the kitchen and it's kind of like the test kitchen, you know? We're just going to throw a bunch of stuff in the pot, see what tastes good. And pretty soon we're going to find that dish. We're going to find that combination of flavors in our life that just says, yeah, this is it. This is my masterpiece. This is my magnum opus. You know, this is the thing that really hits. And we realize that that every relationship is a alchemical relationship. That every situation we're in is going to mold us and shape us. We're either going to become weaker or stronger through the process. And it depends on kind of who we are and what our situations are and what our intentions are. Because you're on the anvil, right? And you're getting banged around by life. Well, if you take metal and you take it out of the fire and you just bang it around and you put it back in the fire and you bang it around more, you put it out of the fire and you keep doing that, you're not going to strengthen the metal. It's going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. Too many trials, too many punishments, too many tribulations, too many obstacles, too much fire and hammer, right, is going to weaken the metal. The strength comes from dipping it in the water after, to sort of to solidify, to strengthen those bonds that we have made. So we need the fire, but gosh, we need the water too. Okay, so I feel like you've been kind of in the fire too much. And you've been getting banged around too much that it's starting to weaken the metal rather than strengthen it. We want metal now that, we want to become strong like steel, not just sort of flimsy like a little aluminum or something, right? And so we realize that we need the water. We need something that is going to refresh our souls. We need something that's going to feel deeply satisfying in life and abundant, because that's going to strengthen our resolve. That's going to help us to become stronger, to go and endure more of life. Because life is a pressure cooker. No matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing, there will be more challenges in life. And those challenges will either bend us and break us, or those challenges will reward us and strengthen us, strengthen our resolve. Okay, so I think the pressure cooker here, that temperance card, is really important, because that's life. And I think that's been life for a long time. I think you're due for some joy. You're due for some abundance. You're due for a reprieve. You're due. Okay, and this is in your immediate future. And I think, too, it's getting us closer to our true selves. We got that sun card in the obstacle, in the difficulty, in the position of kind of, what we don't think we're going to arrive at. In this case, it's the fear. Right? Maybe we're afraid of that sun. Maybe we're afraid, in a way, of kind of not knowing this energy, not knowing this beautiful life. Okay? Not knowing our true selves. Maybe we're afraid of the clarity that's offered by the sun card. Maybe this is the clarity that says, yeah, what I've been doing isn't working. And it's the hard, sobering slap from reality that says, I got to quit doing all that stuff that's making me feel less. I got to start doing things that's going to make me feel more of my true self. Yeah. And so sometimes we're sort of nervous about the enlightenment of our own nature, of our own lives and our own behaviors, our own path, our own purpose, that sort of thing. Sometimes we don't like to shine a light on the things that hurt. Well, because they hurt. It's you stub your toe, you don't want to look at the toe. But this is that light of consciousness that's looking at the toe and thinking, I need to fix the toe. I need to make it strong. I need to repair the damage, and then I need to exercise the toe or the pinky finger. I got to make it strong again. It's going to become weak from disuse, And so I think this is a very important energy as well. And the Queen of Pentacles, of course, your future self. Your future, happy, successful self with a deep understanding of life. This is your sort of long-term self. Looking back at your life and thinking, I made it. Looking back at the long, winding road that you took to get where you are. And realizing that I've got to make good decisions. If I want to be who I want to be in the future, I got to make good decisions now. These cards are very karmic. Everything we do right now, every thought, word, and deed is changing who we're going to become. And we want our future self to be very satisfied and very happy, very pleased with us, because we took chances now, because we got up and used our energy, we got creative with it, we started mixing some flavors together, and we didn't just kind of rest on our laurels. We didn't give up. We didn't quit. We didn't give in to the pain. We said, this is going to strengthen me, right? So what decisions, what attitude does your future self want you to have right now? Okay. Let's look at the mystery card. I want to see that 9 of Cups, right? We got to go from a 9 of Swords to a 9 of Wands to a 9 of Cups. Let's see what we have. A 7 of Swords. Okay, this is good too, because mentally, right? Well, the one thing is we don't have a lot of Swords cards here. We have a little bit of air energy here with the Queen of Swords, but this is like, to me, this kind of feels like this feels like experimentation. This feels like we're not going to put all of our eggs in one basket here. Now's not the time for that firm commitment, one path, one truth, one purpose. No, it's a time of let me do a little bit of this and let me just kind of follow my interest mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively, what excites me, We don't have to marry ourselves to any one path right now. It's a time of diversification, experimentation. Let's explore all aspects of ourselves and see what really energizes us, see what makes us feel stronger, see what gives us the joy and the jubilation and the strength. Okay? This is usually a card of distraction. It's a card of futility. It's kind of saying right now it's futile to try to pick one path and say, this is my life, that's what I'm going to stick to, and that's that. No, it's a time now for letting ourselves get distracted. And understanding, though, having the deeper inner objectivity to say, what is distracting me and why is it distracting me? Why am I kind of being lured away to this thing over here and then that thing over there? What does that tell me about the nature of my initiation? What does that tell me about who I am? And what my motivations are, what my interests are, what my soul really is wanting to do? And some of the things that we're tempted by or lured away by or distracted by are just ego gratifications. Oh, okay, I can identify. That's just my ego wanting to have a good time, not wanting to do the hard work. I see that. But first we have to allow ourselves to feel distracted. Are we being distracted by our heart? Are we being distracted by our mind, intellectually curious about various things? Or is our heart sort of, pulling us in different directions? And that's going to teach us something. Or is it our base desires? Is it some of the lower chakras that are, kind of beneath the table here, that are sort of leading us in other directions? Okay? And we're going to learn that about ourselves. But first we have to experience those. We have to let them happen so that we can observe them to say, okay, what is that teaching me about who I am, about what I want in life, about what things I need to work on? Yeah. So right now, again, not a time of marrying yourself to any one particular path or interest or choice, but through experimentation, diversification, calculated risks, and allowing ourselves to be led by our curiosity and our excitement and our desires in a responsible and a reasonable way, doing it as a spiritual practice, really, to understand who we are. Get closer to our true selves. Yeah. So we can be able to discern the voice of our true self amidst all the other voices. Well, first we have to understand, we have to listen. First we got to open up our ears to hear all the other voices. If we're ever going to start sifting through them to find that one voice. Yeah. Anyway, let's do an extended reading. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Leo on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.